Thanks for joining us on a night where you must be really tired. Since you were giving and giving and giving all day and night yesterday, you people are amazing. Give to the Max lived up to its name. You maxed out on giving to Minnesota nonprofits. The annual online fundraiser for Minnesota nonprofits brought in more than $37 million in donations yesterday from more than 6,500 different charities. That is an all-time record. And if you're surprised like we are, given all the talk about the economy and inflation since the election, well, you're probably not alone, right, Kent?
You are correct, Gianna. Not even GiveMN, which has hosted Give to the Max since 2009, saw this coming. 37 million is about 3 million more than the previous record set in 2021. And keep in mind, year-round giving has been in decline since then, both locally and nationally, which has put a lot of stress on nonprofits.
We know that nonprofits coming into this year's Give to the Max Day, we're experiencing record need. I'm really profoundly grateful for all of the ways in which nonprofits stepped up and ran beautiful campaigns, and the way that Minnesotans stepped up and gave their most generous gifts during Give to the Max.
Now, because we have heard a lot specifically about food insecurity in the past few years, I checked back in with a couple of nonprofits who see it firsthand to get a better idea of that balance between their current need and this record giving. I'm going to start with Every Meal, which works with schools across the state to fill students' backpacks with shelf-stable food that will help feed them and their families on the weekends. The demand for the program just keeps growing, while giving has fallen generally since 2021. But they just surpassed their Give to the Max goal, bringing in more than $230,000.
We in one day raise enough to feed 628 kids all school year long. And so that's amazing to us. And that's 628 kids have food on the weekends that may not otherwise have enough food to eat.
We're going to make budget this year because of this, because of yesterday. Yep.
Now that is Matthew Ayers, our executive director of the Joyce Uptown Food Shelf, which has been seeing demand rise and donations fall since 2021. With that in mind, they were blown away by yesterday's total of $115,000 raised, which is twice as much as they raised 2 years ago. And he thinks all the talk about economic hardship, especially during the election, is actually a big reason why so many people gave.
This is a really nonpartisan issue. And I think with the momentum of the election and people talking about the economy and how hard it is for regular people to pay for groceries, that this really resonates with people in a kind of a bipartisan way. And I think we're just in kind of a sweet spot and being able to harness that a little bit.
But today we also learned, Janet, that the average donation took a jump, hitting $134 per donation versus $117 in prior years. But we know averages are tricky, right? Both nonprofits said they saw everything from $5 yesterday to $10,000.
Wow. Did you get any sense from the folks at Give to the Max that they were surprised that they raised that much this year?
You know, they'll tell you they're never surprised by the generosity of Minnesotans. We do really well, especially on this day. But they said, yes, nationally, they're seeing the same thing. Like, up until now, there's been this steady decline, sometimes 20% since 2021. That's just been the trend. So to see this is really encouraging, especially before the end of the year.
Right.
A lot of those nonprofits depend on the next few weeks.